Midsommar is quite the movie. Ari Aster is a marvel of modern horror, with two of the decade's best horror movies being Hereditary and this one, Midsommar. To describe it best, it is a movie about a woman after experiencing extreme loss learns over time to dump her neglectful boyfriend and cheating boyfriend, while another group of people takes her in as part of their family and finally sees the worth in her that her family, friends, and boyfriend never did. Well, that's the fucking mild version of the story. Midsommar is a profoundly interesting horror movie, but not for the premise, but for the craftsmanship behind what is one of the happiest horror movies I have ever seen. The movie follows Dani, played by Florence Pugh, who is worried for her family when she receives cryptic emails from her sister. Her sister is implied to have mental health issues, and we worry with Dani as she tries to figure out what is happening. We cut to her boyfriend Christian, who is planning a trip to Sweden to observe a village for his college thesis. As the scene goes on, we see that he wants to break up with Dani for various reasons. He gets a call from Dani, and he ends up hearing her worries about her sister and family. He talks her down, to which he hangs up and his friends tell him to end the relationship, but as soon as they say this, he gets another call from her.
Hey. Dani.
This scene is debatably the most disturbing scene in this movie. It then cuts to snow as the title of Midsommar comes up on the screen, which is an obvious contrast to the outside world. The idea of contrast is heavy throughout the film because despite the movie's nature, graphic scenes, and disturbing content, the movie continues to show how this village that Dani also goes with Christian to see after some hesitation empower her and embrace her for who she is. To understand what I mean, we go from the wintertime at the beginning to the midsummer by the end of it. We go from a dead family to a newer, more alive, and more expansive family. We go from an absent boyfriend and peers to people who are willingly share their pain with Dani and those in the village. And the most important change, we go from Dani being worried, isolated, and sad to feeling relieved, happy, and included. Contrast is just the tip of the iceberg with what is a movie about empowerment as well as the death of a toxic relationship. It is all about the toxicity that quite literally surrounds Dani throughout her whole life. Dani has to escape the cold, lifeless toxicity that is surrounding her, which is why she goes to Sweden. Her arrival in Sweden is like a force of nature, almost as if everything that happens was supposed to happen so she could embrace a new way of life and escape her old life that wasn't going anywhere good. She only finds out about the trip to Sweden by accident, almost as if it was uncontrollable and inevitable that she would come with. This is why there is the edit where we cut from her entering into the bathroom of the apartment into the bathroom of the plane, almost like she just teleported into the trip of Sweden. If her family didn't die, then she wouldn't have thought to escape to Sweden. These are all clues that show how Sweden just kind of happens, almost like it was unavoidable. And don't believe me yet? The beginning of the movie shows a mural that foreshadows the entire movie and spells out the entire plot, showing that Sweden, no matter what, is going to happen. There is where we find what the movie's true intentions of building up Dani's character lies. With all the struggles, the only thing that carries into Sweden until the end is her boyfriend, Christian. He is what drives the idea of toxicity throughout the whole movie. If the toxicity idea was already hammered in, Christian's character is the wrecking ball that dropped onto the nail to truly ram it into our heads. As previously stated, he was looking to break up with Dani until the loss she suffers, to which he only stays with her because he would feel guilty for doing it right then and there. He continues to display this toxicity by never telling Dani about the trip to Sweden and never asking her if she wanted to come with, nor that he would be gone for even a month if she didn't go. It worsens as time goes on, where he forgets how long they've been dating, forgets her birthday, and comes up with a really half-assed attempt to make her happy. and then finally gets drugged and cheats on Danny while she is away. Whereas all the bad characters got worse, the only good character, Danny, manages to empower and lift herself up. This all culminates at the end where we finally see Danny do away with her boyfriend by choosing him to be sacrificed to the village's god. He is placed in the corpse of a bear, which is considered to be the religion's beast symbol, and placed inside of the building, which will be burnt down as a sacrifice. With Danny finally seeing her boyfriend burn, she begins to sob, only for the rest of the group to cry and share the pain of the sacrifices being burnt alive along with Danny's pain. She looks around and sees that they sympathize with her, to which, as the building collapses, it slowly dissolves into Danny's face, whose face of anguish turns into a demented smile. Because, as I said, with the death of Christian, the final thing holding her to her old, cold, lifeless, and toxic life, she is able to be reborn as the new Danny. Finally, Danny is able to be happy.